Alex Lin. He is the creator of a wonderful event that's called Autism Rocks. And Autism Rocks over the years has been a really inspirational event where performers have performed. Most years it was at the open air amphitheater at Universal Studios, and many people on the spectrum performed, and then other performers in support of individuals on the spectrum performed as well. This was something that Alex conceived of when he was just a teenager, and something that was very near and dear to his heart. So he's here with us today to talk about how he has been throughout the pandemic. I think we had Alex on once during the pandemic, but let's check in with him, see how he's doing, and see what Autism Rocks is up to, having not been able to have concerts for 2 years now, because they typically do them in the earlier part of the year around April, May, June-ish. So let's welcome Alex Lin to the program. Alex, hello.
Hi,
So
hi, how you doing?
I'm good. First of all, tell us, where in the world are you right now? Because you are always someplace different.
I'm in Taiwan right now.
Okay, I suspected that that might be the case, but one never knows with you. Sometimes
Yes,
you're in different places. So you're in Taiwan. What time of day is it there?
it's 1:20 in the morning.
Okay, you and I are on such different time zones that talking with you is always super fun. It is not unusual for me to get a text from you at 4 a.m. in the morning. And
I'm
yesterday,
sorry.
and yesterday I did the same thing to you when I asked you if you wanted to be on the show today, and I didn't hear from you. And I was like, why am I not hearing from Alex? And then I realized, oh, it's probably nighttime there. He's probably asleep. So
Yeah.
we are on opposite sides of the world here, but in a lot of ways in the same mindset. So, Alex, how have you been?
It's it's a loaded answer. Um,
Isn't it? Yeah.
I've been trying to improve my mental health for a year, and I can say that I've been feeling better. It's hard. It's hard. I mean, Taiwan has been able to not have a lockdown until a year and a half later, which we're very lucky.
So, are you
Um,
guys in
um,
lockdown now?
yeah, unfortunately, some things went out of control, and it was a big shock to me because I thought the government had things under control. And I told you last time, I think last year, that we never had a lockdown, but now it's our first lockdown, and it's been a month inside lockdown, and I already can feel that I'm starting to get very paranoid, or I'm already staying at home, and there's a lot of pressure. Now I get how you feel, how you
Yes.
guys feel now.
It wasn't fun.
It's
It
not
wasn't
fun.
fun. Yeah.
It's not fun. Even the months in is terrible.
Yeah. Well, and I feel, because what I remember, we had you on sometime, was it last summer? And you were talking about how great the government of Taiwan had been, and that you stopped international travel. And we were seriously circling the drain here. We were in bad, bad shape, especially right where I'm at was ground zero. We had the most cases for months of anyone in the world. And you were telling us how, you guys
We
had
we
really
were
come
doing well.
and everybody was behaving responsibly, whereas here we were having trouble getting people to mask. But in your area of the world, it very suddenly took a turn in April, and certainly, in India, which is not that far from where you are, things got
Yeah.
bad and got bad quickly, right?
Yeah, we're very careful about Delta variant. The reason that it got out of control this time is because we didn't catch the British variant very well.
Mm,
Our government is doing its best, and I think that it's a miracle that we were able to have the freedom that we had for a year and a half.
yeah.
And people, within 1 month, cases have gone down from 400, 500 cases to now only 129 cases,
Okay,
or
that's good.
sometimes 78 cases. So it's the miracle that we've been able to be so cooperative. Every restaurant is doing only takeout now.
Mhm.
Um, we have to stay home if we're not doing anything. My dad and my parents, adults have to go to work. Schools are all shut down. We have never seen this. We have never seen this before. But we're getting better day by day, and it seems like I think we have 2 more weeks until July 12th is the actual date that we're hoping that we can go back to level two, where level two is when we can have outdoor events, movie theaters, and open to a certain amount of capacity and go back to some kind of normalcy. And we're waiting for that.
I hope you guys get there. I mean, it took us a year and a half to get there, and we supposedly
Yeah,
are there now. But I worry that we've done that a little bit too quickly. Time will tell. But we want everybody to stay well. I know you posted the other day that our government gave the Taiwanese government a fair amount of vaccines. Is that correct?
yeah, they gave us 2.5 million vaccines, and I'm just so thankful to the American people and um, the government for being so generous because they just said they're going to donate 750,000 doses of Moderna vaccines.
Okay.
So the one American to another, I have to say thank you because it shows our like bipartisan support on both sides, the Republican, Democratic side, and everyone in America supports this. So all of my friends supported this notion. They like my posts. They're very proud of that, and I'm so happy because we need more vaccines, and
Yeah.
we need to get vaccinated now. We're about 7% vaccinated now, and we're starting to get people vaccinated as soon as possible. And I'm waiting to get vaccinated. My parents are waiting to get vaccinated, but like it's picking up some stream. And next is and next the next goal is to get people vaccinated
Yeah.
and also pass our own COVID. Taiwan also made their own COVID vaccine
Okay.
because of political pressure from China. And yeah, we're excited for that. I'm excited for that because it's an mDNA vaccine, it's not mRNA, so there'll be less side effects. And I'm currently working on a lot of stuff with Autism Speaks, and I'm preparing. I'm preparing to prepare for next year's concert
Okay.
with Peggy, my producer.
Okay.
Uh, and I'm working with Autism Speaks on a walk event. Like they have every year. I'm a part of the committee, so I'm planning it with them, and I'm a big part in planning this walk.
Is this a
Probably gonna be
walk in Taiwan or a walk in the United States?
oh no, a walk in Los Angeles.
A walk in Los Angeles. So you're working on the Los Angeles Autism Speaks walk.
Yes,
Oh,
was Tamra, who's in charge of I don't know if you know who she is, but she's
yeah.
in charge of the walk.
Well, that's
And
cool, Alex.
yeah, I enjoy. I've been zooming with her every once a month to see what's going on. We haven't decided on a date yet. It was gonna be in a Rose Bowl, but we're not sure about it yet. But probably gonna be in Dodger Stadium. Probably gonna be happening around December.
Wow.
I
So
think
not the
which I
typical April event.
know. It's interesting to work with Autism Speaks for the first time, and is
Yeah.
to really work with them is an honor and opportunity to make it better and to make them more to have someone really on the spectrum to really work with them is really important, I think.
Well, one of the big criticisms that they get is that they don't have enough voices of people actually on the spectrum. And so, how are you finding it being one of those voices for them, Alex?
I think it's really important, and I feel like I am heard and that they treat me equally, and I feel like that's a that's better because a lot of like you said, there's a lot of criticism not only from people like me, but there's also people like in my concert that have talked about, oh, there's not enough people in the Autism Speaks that actually have autism. The money is not allocated to the right funds. But yeah, I feel like it's a very great honor to work with them, and it feels great because I'm doing something. But
I love that. So now you weren't able to do Autism Rocks for the last 2 years because of COVID. Are you thinking of pairing with Autism Speaks to do Autism Rocks as part of the walk, or is it totally separate?
It's totally separate.
Okay. So what's happening with, are you planning a concert for 2022?
Not yet. We're
Okay.
not we're not there yet, but we're planning to have it. Um, I mean, I think that next year I'll be probably be able to go to America
Mhm.
and
Yeah, I mean, travel's got to have been, you normally are all over the place. You're here in LA, you're in Taiwan, and then you go to college. And what country are you going to college in?
in Tokyo.
Tokyo. So you're very much the world traveler. But you haven't been able to travel for the last year and a half, correct?
2 years.
2 years, 2 years now. Oh my gosh.
I
Okay.
know.
So that's got to get in place in order for you to actually do the concert because you need to be here, right?
Yeah, I gotta be there if I actually want to do a concert. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I can't wait until you have that. What do we need to know in the meantime?
That we're working very hard to I got the website up and running. It expired and I got it back up and running. So if you want to donate to autismrocksevents.org, you're welcome to donate. And if you want to, if you have any ideas of anything, you can just message us on Facebook or through the message part of the website. You can give us some suggestions. That'll be great.
Great.
Um, yeah, but we're working hard to plan the concert. It's crazy because I remember talking to you last year on Zoom, and it's been a year.
Yeah.
It's been a year and 2 months since we talked. It's crazy.
I feel a little like Rip Van Winkle, Alex, that I know that a year has passed, but sometimes when I'm out now doing things, my head doesn't accept that. It's like, wait, they changed that building. That building was just there last week, and then somebody points out to me that it was torn down a year ago, and I just missed it. Do you feel like you just lost a year, or were you busy working on things and you don't think you lost a year?
I mean, I took a gap semester.
Did you?
I took a gap semester. Um, a lot of things happened to me. I took a gap semester. I came out. Um, and very, I mean, about this time of the year, and my mom almost, thank God, nothing happened to her, but she had a blood clot last year around this time, and she almost died of that, and that was
Mhm.
very scary.
Yeah.
And thank
I'm
God
glad
she was
she's okay.
okay. Yeah, we caught
Yeah.
it on time. We caught it on time, and
And your
she's
mom is a
fine.
lovely woman, Alex.
Yeah, she is an amazing woman, and I love her so much for supporting me and being there for me for a long time. And yeah, I also I have a boyfriend now, so it's amazing.
I don't know how you
Uh,
faced that in COVID, but good for you.
oh, I met he goes to university in Taiwan. He graduated, and I met him
Oh, he's an
through
older
dating
man.
apps. No, he's younger than me, but I took a gap semester. That's why
Ah,
he's
okay.
younger
Okay.
than me. But he graduated already, and I'm graduating next semester for from my school, and I'm back at school already. I'm ending my semester in about a month's time or a few weeks, 3 weeks. And yeah, we're almost coming to an end of the semester, and hopefully I'll not have to go back to Japan in the fall because I really don't want to go through quarantine
Yeah.
and getting an apartment. And because my apartment, I had to ask a friend to move all my stuff from my apartment back to Taiwan. And
Wow.
then now they have to ask because I don't have any place to live. I have to rent a place for 4 months, but I don't think that they do that in Japan because they are they want either 1 or 2 years from
Yeah.
you if you want to rent an apartment, and I can't do that because I'm not gonna be there I'm not gonna be there very like for a long time. It's just 4 months, and I'm gonna graduate, and then that's it. And then yeah, it's a lot.
And what will your degree be in, Alex?
It's very weird, but it'll be called like international liberal studies, and if the very if if the school division rather
Okay.
than a specific degree, which is very confusing to me. But I was so glad I decided to choose Japan in the end for my university because I get to go back here, and I was never in shutdown before this
Yeah.
for a whole year and a half, which is very lucky.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to do classes during the middle of the night in
Yeah.
Taiwan. That
Yeah.
I heard my friends had to suffer a lot from them. So I feel lucky, and I felt like I'm able to be with my closer to my parents and my
Yeah.
family here, so it's nice. But yeah, what I'm waiting for right now is to actually be able to freely go out and hang out with my friend, my boyfriend, and hopefully like I can see other people um
We're gonna
in
hope and pray
person.
that that's soon, Alex. I hope so.
Yeah,
I
I
really
hope
hope so.
so. I mean, we're getting better. We're almost there. I think we're almost there, and I hope that in 2 weeks, in July 12th, we can be free
Yep.
and we can be able to go out. And we can't go out now, but like they recommend you not to because
Yeah.
you have to wear a mask the whole time, and you have to like even in the car. It's very interesting.
Yeah, that is
The,
interesting. I
then
wonder why in the car. Do they think that it's coming through the filter in the car?
they say that if it's two people or more in the car and you
Ah,
step out of even that counts as going out, and they'll fine you if they don't see you wearing a mask. If there's two people in the car, you're not wearing a mask, to be fined a lot of money.
all right.
And they're really strict about masking, and two or more, if you have two people in the car, you have to wear a mask, two people
Okay.
or above.
All right. But if you're in the car
And
alone, you don't have to.
no,
Okay.
it's recommended, but you don't have to.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, we've been very careful, and I've been wiping down my door handles and everything
Yeah.
for every day since May 15th, and till now, which is horrible because it's like another thing you have to do after doing my homework and
Yeah.
then my midterm, which I got 98 by the way, which was great. I know.
Good job.
It's very exciting.
I
And
love how I love this technology that I feel like you're in the next room
I
and we're
know.
having this conversation, but it's literally like all the way around the world. I love that we're at the point that we can do this. And I shouldn't have said anything because now I'm jinxing it and our connection is going to go. But Alex, let's pause for somebody wrote it in and said, wow, your life is so amazing. And that is true. The first time I met you, Alex, correct me if I'm wrong, you were like 16. Is that true?
There's
And you were just
17.
17 and you were just starting Autism Rocks as a high school student. Now you're getting ready to graduate from college. You've come out, you're in a relationship. I'm just so proud of you of all the things that you've done. Tell us like what's next for Alex? What is it you want to do with this degree? Are you going to go on to get a graduate degree? Are you going to start a business or what's the plan for Alex Lin?
Right now, I try not to think about like my future because I want to live in the moment. And Renee, I gotta say, Taiwan is hot every day. It's hot as hell here. It's about like
Renee just said that she's suffering in the California heat, but we
oh, we're suffering from the heat here too every day, and we have to wear face masks, so it's even more
it's
painful.
hard. Yeah, it's hard. I find that
I
I'm
know.
sweating more when I have because I'm out now, but I'm wearing masks out, and
Great,
it makes me
important.
sweat. It's a sweaty thing. I didn't realize how much heat I carry right here. Like, who knew? But it's been hot here. Like, what are the temperatures in Taiwan? What's the high?
mm, 34 degrees Celsius.
Oh,
I don't know how much.
yeah, I don't know the math on that, because we never did the math on that. I'm too old. Uh, is that like 100?
93.
93. Okay.
I
It's
just
been
looked it up.
it's been over 100 here for
Oh
many days.
wow.
It's been hot, 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 hot.
Yeah, my cousin actually left to LA, and he went to LA and got vaccinated just like 2 months ago. He
Mhm.
left, and he got vaccinated, and I'm jealous because he's vaccinated. And
Yeah.
Taiwan is like we have about 5 million vaccines in total right now, thanks to America, and Japan donated 1.23 million vaccines. And I'm so shocked, America donated so much because a lot of people always say Joe Biden is very pro-China, whatever like that. But I think he's a good man. Joe Biden is a good man. He supports our democracy. He supports all democracies around the world. And without these vaccines, we wouldn't have the it was a breath of fresh air. When I heard the news last Friday, I felt so relieved. Everyone in Taiwan were celebrating in their houses.
Oh, I love it.
And
I
and
saw
we
your
had
post. I saw your post, and you were very
yeah,
excited about it. Otherwise, I wouldn't
yeah,
have known about it. It didn't make the news that I watch here that we had donated those to Taiwan. So I would
yeah,
not have known had you not said something. So I'm glad to know.
yeah, yeah. And actually it was shocking because I was in the house and reading my iPhone, and then routers came the embassy in Taiwan sent out a routers article. Routers released this article, and it's exclusive. America tripled the donation. I'm like, that can't be. If they said they're gonna donate 750,000, not 2.5 million. But
Yeah.
I guess it's 2.5 million, and it's amazing. And we have Moderna vaccines coming in batches,
Hmm.
like small batches, like 25, 220, 250,000, 40, 410,000. They're coming in small batches,
Yeah.
just slowly. And just to see that people are getting vaccinated, and people are actually and the Taiwanese vaccine is coming. It's very exciting to me because it really shows that Taiwan has the capacity to make these vaccines, even though we're a very unknown country and we're not a part of the WHO. And it's amazing to see that happening. And I also have to tell you, I did work in an autism foundation for from October to January of this year.
What foundation?
The Foundation for Autistic Adults and Children in Taiwan, and they were actually the first foundation that I worked with in my event in Taiwan. I think I told you about them before. The very, very first event that I was ever a part of in my school, I worked with them, and I
Amazing.
thought so it was amazing to work with the first charity I ever worked with.
Kind of a full circle
Uh, a
movement.
first circle moment. Yeah, the CEO also he remembers me very well. He's like, you're the person that gave us a check of like 1,000 US dollars. I'm like, yeah, that's me.
How about
And
that?
you gave that speech on YouTube, which you guys can look up on the channel, by the way.
Okay.
Um, it captured. I posted everything on camera.
Yes. They're wanting to know why is the US sending it to other countries? Is it because not so many Americans are taking it, and it's about to expire, the vaccine? I think that it's a good question. I think it's a valid question. I know that
Yeah,
one of the things that they were having to order vaccines from companies, not knowing who was going to be able to provide. That, at one point, I know at one point the United States ordered a bunch of the AstraZeneca vaccine, and then it has not been approved by the FDA yet. And so they gave most of the AstraZeneca vaccine that they ordered away. I don't know whether they gave it to I don't remember which country it was. But for you guys, for Taiwan, it was the Moderna, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we only have two options so far in Taiwan. It's either Moderna or AstraZeneca,
Uh-huh.
and then this Medigen, 高端 Medigen, and I'll send you a link to the CNN interview. But we made our own vaccines too, like Cuba did, and
Mhm.
Korea and Vietnam. We're making our own vaccines with Medigen and this Linya is the fourth vaccine. So hopefully all of them will come through, and all of us can get the vaccines.
And I think to answer Vera's question, a lot of people are talking about this and saying, why would we give vaccine away? First of all, it's goodwill. You can see that in good relations that for Alex and his, talking about what it was like in Taiwan when they announced it, people partying in their houses and saying, thank you to the United States. That's good relations for the US, but it also is very self-serving, you guys. If only right now in the United States there are more people are vaccinated than any place else, and for the world to truly reopen, they're wanting to get to herd immunity, and they need to get to herd immunity whether you agree with it or not. This is the modality of what they're trying to do.
Yeah,
And if the world doesn't have access to vaccines, it truly is one of those moments where if we say, oh, we're not going to give it to that country, then we will keep fighting variants forever. And
yeah,
everything that people care about here in the US will have a hard time succeeding. The economy, having the ability to go out, all depends on the world being okay.
yeah. It's
Um,
all about diplomacy and like the Chinese. I think also they're doing this also because the Chinese government have also tried to do some vaccine diplomacy, but it hasn't really worked because a lot of people still get COVID even though they're vaccinated by the Sinovac vaccines from China, and people think it's
Interesting.
defective, and that is the reason why America giving out the vaccine is more helpful because it's proven to be more efficient
Yeah,
compared to the Chinese vaccines.
yeah.
And yeah, we have inner conflicts in Taiwan over this, but it's illegal to bring in Chinese vaccines to Taiwan because they're not tested well.
Okay.
But whereas
Interesting.
our vaccines and Moderna is good enough for us.
We're talking a lot of very politically charged things today, aren't we? I want to kind of get back because people are watching you, Alex, and I know it's occurring to them. They're like, boy, Alex doesn't seem to have any challenges. Alex is an individual on the spectrum. Like, I'm not seeing it. Talk to us a little bit about, first of all, when were you diagnosed? And let's talk about some of the challenges that you had when you were younger and what still is challenging for you now. Do you mind talking about that?
Yeah, I mean, I got diagnosed when I'm 15. Um, Knowing or not knowing when someone can talk is a big challenge for me. And usually I tell my best friends to tell me, okay, if you can't talk right now, just message me you can't talk.
Yeah.
Like don't like hide it, don't like put it under the table because it's gonna make it worse. Tell me about who if you're bothered by me. Just say that you can't do it. Like a friend today told me like I'm busy, I have to do something. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. And then some are afraid they'll offend me and make me feel bad, but no, this is communication. This
Yeah.
is communication, very important. I mean, over the last year or so, I offended a couple of people. It's like I annoyed them and I called them multiple times. And then I think we have miscommunicated and then they hate me now. And
Well,
then,
here's the thing. This all comes under the heading of social skills, and I just want
yeah,
to say this to you, Alex. Like, just like autism is a spectrum, being annoyed with people is a spectrum too. And let me just tell you that if I had to say one of your best features, Alex, it is that you are a person who doesn't give up. You I was telling the other day, I said, Alex Lin is that thing that Nancy always talks about, that in order to be successful, Nancy Oswald Jackson says, you got to be a dog on a pork chop. which means you're not giving up for anything. And I will tell you, and I mean this as a compliment, you are like a dog with a pork chop. You don't
Thank
give
you.
up for anything. And it's a great, great compliment, but it's going to ruffle some people's feathers. And some people are going to say, well, that's too much. And I love that you're being clear with people and say, tell me when it's too much. But every
Yeah.
successful business person, salesperson, influencer has had that aspect in them, Alex. So I don't, I understand that socially it could be something that could make things challenging, but I think it's more of a plus for you than a challenge. But being diagnosed at 15, that tells all of us something, because you were already very verbal. You didn't have a problem with the ability to speak. Is that correct?
Yeah, I could talk very, very articulately.
So when you were diagnosed, were you diagnosed with Asperger's, or was it after the DSM-5 and you were diagnosed with autism level 1-1?
It was it was before the DSM-5, and I was diagnosed as Asperger's syndrome.
Okay. So are you aware of this whole big controversy right now with Elon Musk, that he was on Saturday Night Live and he said that he was the first person to host Saturday Night Live that was on the spectrum, that he has Asperger's? And then everybody has been saying about how, well, a bunch of people said, well, Asperger's doesn't exist anymore because the diagnosis doesn't exist anymore. And that people are having this big argument about, should they call it Asperger's again, or should they call it
ASD.
autism level 1, ASD level 1? What do you think? Because this affects you.
I think they're the same.
And how do you identify when you talk to people? What do you say when you
I
say?
say they have Asperger's,
Okay,
or I say I have autism spectrum disorder. That's what I tell them.
there you go.
And yeah, and being a bisexual man who has autism is a lot of challenge. It's a big challenge, and we talked about this about a few years ago.
Yeah,
I remember I told you how I was like this, and Joanne was there too,
yeah,
which is very heartwarming and sad to think about it right now, because she's gone from us, taken
yes.
away from us, and
But
God, I miss
she was
her.
proud of you, Alex. She was so proud of you,
I
and
know.
celebrated you. We're talking about, of course, Joanne Laura, who passed away about a year ago, our dear, dear friend. But she was
My
proud of
dear
you, and
friend.
I'm proud of you. You've done amazing things. Vera has written in and said, I have a 30-year-old son diagnosed with Asperger's. How was getting housing for you? And she says, here in Hawaii, we have limited support. You're hope for the young adult on the spectrum. You are hope for young adult on the spectrum. And thank you for sharing. Was it
Thank you.
hard? Has it been hard for you when you've needed to get housing? Have you ever had to get housing that wasn't to do with school? Have you ever had an apartment that wasn't because you were going to school?
No, I rented an apartment. When I first went to school in Japan, I rented an apartment with a 2-year contract,
Mm-hmm.
and living alone wasn't a problem, but trying to live with myself is a problem. Do you
Mm.
know the
What do you
difference?
mean by
Because
that? No, tell me.
I would have panic attacks. I felt alone, and sometimes I'll switch it up by having brec breakfast or lunch with my friend, like outside in a restaurant, like every week, to make me feel less lonely. And I was like, I'll have a very bad sleeping pattern and stuff.
Yeah, I want to
Did
know,
you get
did you get some support for living alone?
Yeah, my friends supported me. I had friends that supported me, that hung out with me. Um, one time there was an election last year in Taiwan, the presidential election, Tsai Ing-wen versus Han Kuo-yu. And trust me, this Han Kuo-yu guy he is copying Trump, which is the biggest problem, which is the reason why I voted for Biden, because I don't like Trump.
So you vote in the US, or do you
I
vote in
vote
both places?
I voted. No, I only can vote in the U.S. So I voted for Biden. I voted for the first time ever in my life, and I voted for Biden. And I was right to vote for Biden because he's against what China is doing right now to Taiwan and Hong Kong
You need your
and
own political
Xinjiang.
show, young man. You need your own political show. We try to stay apolitical here because we have people with that are on the spectrum and have kids on the spectrum that are on both sides of the aisle. So while I would love to have this talk with you in private, I don't. You should have your own political show. Is what you should do. That would be fascinating, Alex, to have, and have a panel of all individuals who are on the autism spectrum talking about politics. I would tune into that on a daily basis. I would
Yeah, I
absolutely
mean,
tune
like
into
that'll be so interesting to
that.
see
Wouldn't
all
it?
their perspectives. Yeah.
Alex, I'm telling you, it's a thing. Unfortunately, we're out of time, though, my friend, and this has been deeply, deeply
Oh,
enjoyable. I know,
I
but we
love
want to
this.
remind everybody that Autism Rocks is still a thing, and that if you want to contact Alex, or if you want to make a donation, or if you just want to stay tuned to when the next concert is happening, because I'm fairly confident that when you do the next concert, you will live stream it so that people who don't want to watch it don't have to be in LA. So in the chat, Traven, our producer, has put the links, but you can go to autismrocksevents.org, or you can go to facebook.com/autismrocksevents. And Traven's got it right there for you guys on the screen for those of us that are watching live. But Alex, please give my best to your parents. And it was lovely to see you and get a chance to chat with you. And I look forward to a time when we're both on the same quarter of the planet.
Oh God, yes. I wish I can go. I really wish I can go back to America because of the new Avengers land that they opened and the new Star Wars land that they opened. I never got
We
to go. I
we
never
went
got
to
to
them the
go.
other day. I can give you the skinny on the whole situation. We went to them the other day, and so I've seen it all in the last week and a half.
Avengers land?
Yes, I got into the Avengers campus. I don't ride rides. I get sick on the tram. But you'll see it. I think you'll be very excited.
I'm very excited seeing other people being so excited about it.
Yeah. It was so hot. And there were so many people. It was the last day before California reopened. There were so many people you had to wait in line to get into the gift shop, Alex.
Oh
Uh,
my God. Yeah,
yeah,
that showed me how much people. Wait, I gotta tell you one thing. I might not have shared this with you, but I did write a script
you did.
about. I wrote an 88-page script 2 years ago about an autism superhero in the Marvel Cinematic Universe,
Ooh.
and
Well,
it's
I think you
88
need to get
pages
that to
long.
somebody. All right, you need to get that to somebody, my friend. They keep coming out with Marvel things. I don't know why they wouldn't have your script. So I gotta go, but we just adore you, Alex. I am so proud of you, and I know Joanne is looking down and smiling at you and your entrepreneurial soul. Uh, she just loved that. But please give our best to everybody, and we'll talk to you again soon. All right.
Okay, thank you so much, Shannon. I hope you can send a clip so I can post it on my YouTube channel.
Trading will send you a clip. Okay.
Okay,
He'll send
great.
you a link. He'll send you a link to put on your channel that you can embed.
Okay,
Okay.
definitely.
All
Yeah.
right. Much love. Mwah. Thanks for watching Autism Live. If you found anything helpful in this video, please give us a like. In fact, make sure that you smash that subscribe button on YouTube and give us a like on Facebook. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram for important updates. And please download our free podcast wherever you get your podcasts. See you next time. Until then, give your kiddos a hug from me and one for you too. Bye-bye for now. To subscribe, click here. And if you'd like to check out some more of our videos, click here.